Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first Claudumentary. So I'm going to look through some of Kent Hovind's stuff and make some comments as we go along. Comments from the Claudumentary.
Oh, I'm about 4 gallons low on water, brother. It's a hot day. Okay. DrDino.com is our website. You can see all of our channels listed there that we're on. And also, you can, if you want to donate, you can do it on there. Get our seminar series, by far the best selling. How many million of those have gone out? We want to help strengthen your faith in the Word of God.
Goodness, if there's millions of those gone out at $50 a shot, that's over $50 million, maybe $100 million. No wonder Kent is able to afford to run his ministry.
Our series on what on earth is about to happen, for heaven's sake. Woe, about the future, and we need some help. David departed from thence, and the people came to David in the cave that were, let's see, in distress, in debt, and discontented. We seem to gather folks around us here, brother, to work here that have some kind of problem, or they don't have, nowhere to go, or don't know what they want to do in life. God made a great army out of them. Okay, so
Well, if you actually looked after them, on a more permanent basis, I'd actually agree. But as you say, you get them there, you put them to work, and then every now and then there seems to be a big clean out, and they sort of go from favor. And, you have had a number of criminals there in the past too, and you've had a number of normal people, and quite often they end up getting into the donations. Not that you need any when you're earning so much from your DVDs.
I love talking to David up in heaven. We got what we call here a motley crew, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's amazing what God can do. If you just keep the right attitude. Say, Lord, I want to serve you. Keep that attitude. He'll take care of everything else. Anyway, the guy called me from Maple Park, Illinois, named Joe. He said, I'm a wonderful cook and a Christian looking for a new start. He had hip surgery, had a lot of trouble in life, lost his best friend to cancer. If you'd like to help Joe move, he's got a giant tortoise he wants to bring with and a dog house for it. It's a 175-pound tortoise. Yeah. Maple Park is basically a Chicago suburb. If you want to come this way or help, it's $1,800 to get a rider truck, and he can drive himself here. But we don't have $1,800. Anyway, if you want to help Joe, give me a call. 855 Big Dino, extension 1. We'll bring Joe down. We'll let anybody come in, almost anybody come in and try for a couple of weeks.
Yes, well, my advice to Joe would be to stay where you are and not go down there. I mean, you've already heard just from there that he's begging for other people to help you shift Joe, and he doesn't have the $1,800. But earlier in the piece, he sold millions of copies of his DVDs at $50 a piece, or in many cases, $100 for the whole set. Multiply that out.
And if they decide, they're going to sandbag and use us to, get a free place to live, we send them somewhere else. Okay, we're looking for people that want to help. Okay, our Noah's Ark is coming together very well. We got to finish 4 more sections coming up. I did all this the other day. There's section 8, 9, 10, 11.
I did all this the other day. I doubt whether you did very much of it at all. I think it would be nice to say the workers or the volunteers did all this. Give them some recognition, Kent, not you.
Going together. We got enough material to go another 48 feet. We don't go in debt around here. One guy came and said, I heard this. One lady said, you owe her a bunch of money. You had a contract and owed her money. We don't go in debt at all. Don't believe nothing like that. Okay.
Yeah. So you don't actually tackle the question. He said you owed a lady a bunch of money and you broke a contract. Well, I think he was probably referring to your third wife, who you contracted to take some money from her. In return for that, you were going to give her X amount, like repayment every month. And then somehow you or one of your trustees changed the wording to make it a spousal support contract, which is, and even then you were using the interest on her money to pay her support. And then once she left or was driven out by your obnoxious behavior, you stopped paying her. So yeah, I think that's what this is referring to. And you don't address that. You just say we don't go into debt here. What's that got to do with the original question?
Got several donations to let us build another 48 feet. Okay, let's see. Our Noah's Ark, The zip line goes right into there. How do I get up where I want to go here? Oh, 876. There we go. Okay. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. I remember my pastor, when I first started going to Bethel Baptist Church in Pekin, he would stop every time he came across a word that in the Bible that we might not know the meaning of. He would tell us what it means, like justified, just as if I'd never sinned. I love that one. Pastor Dawson did a great job. Integrity. What is integrity? Let's see. Also, that the soul be without knowledge is not good, and he that hasteth with his feet sinneth. Okay, don't hurry up and go too fast. You might do something wrong. Anyway, what is integrity? A person is not given integrity. It results from the relentless pursuit of honesty. Integrity is doing the right thing when no one is watching.
Well, that's a good example of what we've just heard. You borrowed money off your third wife, you had the contract was changed, and then you stopped paying her when she left. Well, it's her money. It was over $100,000, Kent, maybe 200,000. Do the right thing, pay it back. That's what doing the right thing is, Kent. That's what integrity is. You've got no idea what the word means. Your past obviously didn't do very well.
That's what my pastor used to say. Your character, who are you when nobody's watching?
Well, I think we all know what you are when nobody's watching. There's a few shorts being put up of that, Kent, but we'll move on from that hastily.
Who are you? Good thinking. Okay. Integrity is used in the Bible a bunch of times. In the book of Job, Job's wife said, "You still retain your integrity. You still claim you did nothing wrong." Everything went wrong for Job. Lost his 10 kids, lost all of his wealth. His friends turned against him. And he said, "Yes, I'm going to maintain my integrity. I didn't do anything wrong to cause this." Same with me going to prison and losing my family in Pensacola. I didn't do anything wrong.
That's the attitude that caused you to go to prison, Kent, and to lose your family. You wouldn't take any responsibility for your actions. You were structuring, which is a common tax evasion technique, and you obstructed the investigation. If you'd simply said, "Yep, I did that," you mightn't have even gone to jail and taken your wife with you. Well, I mean, it's all well documented. And then your family realized the truth about you. Now, let's face it, if your own brother, sister, son, daughter, and grandchildren won't have anything to do with you, I wonder who's at fault. Is it all of them, or is it you, Kent?
I maintain my integrity, okay? Most of them never been up here to visit. 10 years, 70 miles away. I maintain my integrity. Not my fault, okay? Anyway, maintain my integrity. He
Never
said in
his
Job,
fault.
integrity mentioned 3 times in the book of Job, and a bunch of times in the book of Psalms about my integrity, and a bunch of times in the book of Proverbs, 16 times in the Bible. Okay, you can read all that for yourself. Also, that the soul be without knowledge, it is not good. He that hasteth with his feet sinneth. And so, I'm sorry, he that is perverse in his lips. What is perverse? Well, perverse is mentioned in the Bible quite a few times also. A bunch of times in the book of Proverbs. You can read them all right there. And other times, Jesus talked about perverse generation. Okay. The foolishness of man perverteth his way, and his heart fretteth against the Lord. Wealth maketh many friends. Well, when you got money, you got friends. Have you ever noticed that? Payday. Some of your friends come around when they know it's your payday. Like, oh, hey, man, want to go out to eat? You're buying?
Yes, I do seem to remember you begging for money to go out to have your lunches or dinners every week. You were asking people to send in the money to pay for your lunch and those of your volunteers, Kent. Interesting. Integrity?
Wealth maketh many friends. The poor is separated from his neighbor. Jesus said, I say to you, make friends of the mammon. That's the rich people. Okay, make some friends out of rich people. When you fail, they can help you out. Okay, nothing wrong with that. I got some people. I try never to call on them, but if we got a big need, God seems to put it on their heart. They say, "Hey, Brother Hovind, you need something?" Well, yeah. What? Need $5,000 for, whatever we're doing. Oh, okay, no problem.
Oh, no problem. It just happens, you try not to ring them. You didn't say you didn't ring them. And then, of course, suddenly they know that you need something. I mean, every single show I've seen of yours, you're asking for people to pay for something. So you're playing a little bit cute here, Kent.
I don't ask for it, but they offer and we spend it. Okay, no problem. Okay.
Oh, yeah, well, you certainly do spend it. That's absolutely for certain. I mean, for a long time, there was side by sides. I think your third wife paid for a lot of those. And then they weren't good enough, and you had to go to Jeeps. And then you were begging for Jeeps. And then the Jeeps got damaged, and so you wanted other Jeeps. And then you had a rush of blood to the head and you wanted to build Noah's Ark. So you're asking money for that. And then now you decided that someone had offered you for free the world's biggest horseshoe crab. And it was going to cost $15,000 to bring it here. And then, so you're asking money for that. Oh, then somebody donated $2,000 to help with that, and then that was enough. And you brought it down, and it was sawn into pieces, and you had to put it all together. And oh my goodness, it was about $14,000 then for this largest horseshoe crab replica piece of junk that you've spent good people's donations on.
A false witness shall not be unpunished. He that speaketh lies shall not escape. God hates liars. Me too.
Do you mean God hates liars, including you, or God hates liars and you hate liars too? Because Kent, when it comes to lying, you take the cake. And I know you often say, "Oh, well, we all lie," but how many times have you said something has been your fault? In fact, it's a characteristic that nothing's your fault, Kent. Nothing.
Many will entreat the favor of the prince. Every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. But God hates false witness, lying. Penalty for perjury is pretty serious, up to 5 years in prison and fines, or maybe both, okay? But lying under oath, perjury, a false witness. God said in the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not bear false witness. Neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor. In the book of Deuteronomy, Deutero means twin, okay? God gave the law to Moses in Exodus. Then people disobeyed God. He said, okay, you got to wander around for 40 years and you're all going to die except for Moses and except for Joshua and Caleb. 40 years later, Moses gives the law again. Now it's a whole new batch of people because the rest have died. So that's why it's called Deuteronomy. It's the twin, the second giving of the law. Who cares? Okay. So in Deuteronomy, if a false witness rises up and testifies wrong, the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and then they should kill the person who gave false witness. That's how serious God takes his false witness stuff, okay? False witness. Out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murderers, adulteries, fornications, theft, false witness, blasphemy. Just don't lie. Just tell the truth. You have integrity. The people have to, once you start telling lies, people start questioning you on everything you say.
Funny you should say that, Kent, because I'm one of those people that questions everything you say, along with a number of other channels. And our motivation is that we're not obsessed with you. We're actually trying to look out for many good people who do follow you, and we want to see them saved from you.
Okay. Chief priests and elders sought false witness against Jesus. They went around looking people willing to lie about Jesus. They're trying to find somebody to testify falsely so they could kill him. Many bear false witness, and their witness agreed not. It's sad, okay, that people lie to put Jesus to death, and they did, okay. All the brethren of the poor do hate him. Much more do his friends go far from him. He pursueth them with words, yet they're wanting to him. See, when you don't have anything and you're always depending on other people and always begging for stuff, people learn to run away from you.
Yes, Kent, when you're always begging for stuff, people do run away. Unfortunately, there's a few too many of them don't.
Okay? Learn to work. I know people, Brother Hovind, I need $20, I need $50. Well, how much have you spent so far in your life on smoking? And you want me to give you 20 bucks when I work hard for mine? And you burn it up? Ah, think about it, okay?
Kent, how much have you spent in your life on your personal hot tub and the electricity to run that? How much have you spent on your hobbies and sports, which includes your side by sides or now Jeeps that you drive around in despite having a bad back? How much have you spent on that? And I mean, how does that win souls for your Lord? You know? So all very well for you to criticize other people, but you can maintain the money wastage that goes on under your direction and stewardship.
He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. Some of you just, if you just drink water for 1 month, no Pepsis, no Cokes, no coffee, how much would you save in 1 month?
Oh, quite a bit probably, Ken. And if you were God, you could turn the water into wine and would be, yes, would be also another saving. Haven't seen that happen though, since reading about it in the Bible.
Up to you. Okay.
Yeah.
He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. You love yourself, learn, okay, study, pay attention. A false witness shall not be unpunished. He that speaketh lies shall perish. Delight is not seemly for a fool. What is this? Seemly. Good looking, handsome, agreeably fashioned, attractive, conventionally. It's proper. It's just not proper for a fool to be running around delighted with things. Something about it. Delight is not seemly for a fool, much less for a servant to bear rule over princes. Some people really should not be in charge of anything.
Yes, that begs a certain question. Some people shouldn't be in charge of anything, particularly ministries or businesses would be the proper term, where the accounting and checking on the donations is so slack that you've been robbed by a series of different people that have worked with you or for you, Kent. Um, and evidently, your fourth wife took off with 16,000 as well. And yet, only a few months before, you were telling people to check with her to make sure their donations were going to the right place. You just can't make this stuff up.
You ever met anybody like that? They really need to be told what to do all the time. They shouldn't be in charge. You ever had a boss that's an idiot? Anybody ever had one of those? If you work here, don't raise your hand now. Okay. I've had a few you thought, how did this guy get to be the boss? Anyway, the discretion of a man.
Well, how this guy got to be the boss is that he went out and bought himself a few diploma mill degrees, worthless, but it impressed a number of people who saw the name Doctor in front of his name and then began to follow him. And then he was able to get this property, and you followed him there, and some of you follow him on YouTube as well, and you send him money. It's actually pretty straightforward for this sort of thing to occur.
Get in the favor of the king. Do what your boss says, okay?
Okay, we'll leave this first installment of the Balsamentary or the Claudumentary and look at the next parts on another day. I don't want to have these things going on then longer than 20 minutes. It's long enough to take in. So let's see you all again for the next Claudumentary looking at Kent Hovind.